wall that's going to take 16 months to build. It has no immediate impact today. So can you give me a little insight, or us as a committee?
Sure. My name is Sarah Hicks. I am Senior Advisor and Budget Director for the Office of the Governor here on Senate Bill 6. So you ask a very big question, and I think there is a plan to look at all sorts of tools. The governor has brought in Mike Banks, who has 30 years of experience in working on the border and working these issues in Border Patrol, so that we in our office internally have, in addition to Colonel McCraw and General Seltzer, we have someone internally who knows how the border works. And who has lived it and knows it better than any of us in the office otherwise, right? I think the overall plan is a combination of infrastructure like the wall, it's the more temporary infrastructure like the C-wire, and it is the placement and the use of technology and law enforcement. And the use of this wall and the C-wire is intended to be a force multiplier, so that where there is barrier, you need fewer people. And Mike can talk about his experience in Border Patrol and when they put wall up in further South Texas, how it significantly reduced the manpower Border Patrol needed to patrol the very same miles. And so he can talk to you about that. I think you're right. We cannot necessarily control globally what is happening. But what I would say, and these are numbers that Mike can give you more color to, but Texas has 62% of the shared mileage with Mexico. Since we've begun OLS, much of the strategy has been to say, don't come here. And over the last 7 days, we have 62% of the shared international border. Only 42% of crossings from Mexico came into Texas. So while we have 62, much more land by land, in fact, yesterday it was 32% of all crossings yesterday were in Texas. So I would argue that while we are not necessarily stopping everyone, that the combination of all these tools is in fact driving traffic outside of Texas, which is part of the goal here. And I think as far as the strategy, part of busing was, first and foremost, to relieve our local cities and communities along the border. But it has also served well to get a national conversation going that was not going prior. And so I do think, aside from all of the metrics that we can talk about, how much fentanyl has been taken off the road, we can talk about how many people have been turned back, we can talk about how many other drugs have been seized. I'm sitting next to the person that can tell you all that in much more detail. We have those hard facts, but then you also step back and I think you can see some more, in bureaucrat terms, outcomes, not just outputs, right? And so I think there are changes happening that can be shown because of the work done through OLS.
Thank you for that. I guess